fight, the engine is gonna be a massive problem. I don't know if I've heard rumors that Ferrari might push their new engine that was supposed to be for the 2027 season to push it to this season. Uh, push it to this season. So yeah, it depends on if they bring a new engine, if they fix their reliability issues, if they bring more upgrades, etc.
Mhm. Okay. One thing. I wanted to talk about a couple of things we could before we move to China. Arvid Lindblad. Oh my God, what a performance for him!
Yeah.
The start he had, the start he had was absolutely incredible. Passing, a couple of cars, especially two drivers who are world champions, Lewis and Lando, and
Mm.
he had a great performance. And not only that, what you saw what he did to Max, when Max was complaining in the radio in the pit lane, brake checking. I mean, Lindblad, what a performance for him! Especially not only was he performed really well, he was aggressive. And I remember there was a battle between him and Max, and usually a driver from, let's say, from Red Bull or Red Bull Junior team would let him through,
Mm, yeah,
right?
yeah,
But
yeah,
he didn't do that.
yeah.
Absolutely, it's absolutely brilliant performance for him. What did you make of Lemieux's performance?
Great performance for your first time. For the first time for the first race of the season. He seems like a pretty good driver. I underestimate him a little bit. But yeah, great driver. I have no more opinions other than great driver. Yeah. That's it. Nothing good.
Do you think he's gonna be, let's say, the best rookies this season?
Yeah, there's no rookie to butt him this season. So easy.
Oh yes,
There's
but
no
I mean,
reason.
like, the new, like, better than, let's say, Behrman, Bortoletto, the rookies from last year to this year.
Yeah,
I
it's
mean,
looking like it. Yeah, for sure. It's looking like
right.
it's gonna be a good look.
Okay. One more question before China. Obviously, there's been a lot of rumors on obviously what happened. Rumors on canceling the race in Bahrain and in Australia. Sorry, in Bahrain and in Saudi Arabia. And obviously, that's understandable because of the recent events, unfortunately, that happened
I don't think.
to the Middle East
Can I say something?
countries.
Can I say
Yeah, go on.
something regarding the news? First of all, I don't think Jeddah is gonna get cancelled because it's far away from the war zone. Uh, Bahrain is for sure gonna get cancelled. I think the destruction from I'm monitoring this war pretty good. Like I know everything about the war right now. Bahrain is 100% gonna get cancelled. That's for sure. Cancelled. But Jeddah can go through. Jeddah's far away from the war zone. It's the other side of the war zone. The war zone is way far from Jeddah. So yeah, I think Jeddah is gonna happen, and I heard someone say that the organizers of Jeddah are still working on making it happen. So so yeah. I think Jeddah is gonna happen, but Bahrain, I think it's over for Bahrain. It's not gonna happen.
Mhm. Do you think, obviously there was also other rumors from especially from Formula One, where if the Bahrain and Saudi Arabia get cancelled, they're not going to replace any races. Like there was rumors of replacing them,
Good. I think it's better.
Portugal or Turkey. Do you think that's the right decision to not replace those races?
Yeah, yeah. I think it's great.
Why is that? Is that because of limited time?
It's we have like 24 races. Two races is not gonna be a big issue. As much as we love Formula One, but two races it's not an issue. We used to have only 20 races on the calendar. Now we have 24. Losing two is not gonna be an issue for Liberty Media or for the sport.
Okay. Uh, and obviously, hopefully the people who what happened to the Middle East. Hopefully, things get better there very, very quickly, especially amid this difficult time. Now, let's move on to China, the Grand Prix. Obviously, it looks like Mercedes, as of speaking right now, as of what we saw in free practice one, Mercedes look the team that is team to beat. The best of the rest looks like it's McLaren. Um, Ferrari, not so much. Red Bull, we don't. It's difficult to say. So, what do you think of Muhammad? You know because let's not forget it's also a sprint weekend. How do you think the teams are going to go about, especially this is the second race of this regulations, it's a sprint weekend, and so on?
I've heard people say that it's gonna be somewhere something like teams are gonna use the sprint qualifying and the sprint race as more of a practice session rather than an actual competitive session, just so they can understand the deployment. So yeah, that's how I think it's gonna go, and that's probably that's probably what's gonna happen. They're gonna use it as a practice session rather than a actual competitive session. They're gonna try, of course, but they're gonna be experimenting a little bit as well.
Mhm. Uh, and also Ferrari, the front wing they have, it's is
The
a
rear wing,
flip-flop wing.
rear
It's
wing, you
like
mean?
it's a wing that they used in yeah, Bahrain testing, and now they're going to use it this weekend. Do you think that's going to be helpful for Ferrari, or not make so much of a difference?
You mean the rear wing? And yes, I think it's gonna be an
Yeah.
issue for them because I was able to watch FP1, and they had a lot of issues with the rear wing. It would first of all, mm, uh, Hamilton had an issue in which he forgot to close the rear wing, or he closed it too late, and he caused them to spin and destroy his tires. So that's going to be an issue. The drivers have to be more vigilant and close the rear, because they have to close the rear wing quite early because it needs to flip back to the normal and then close. So they have to close it earlier than other teams. So that's going to be an issue for them. And that's what's causing them rear instabilities into the corner. But yeah, I think that it has a lot of issues. There's a lot of issues with the with the rear wing, but we'll see. I guess we'll see. We'll see in 30 minutes.
Do you think who do you think is the team that can challenge McLaren sorry Mercedes the best this season? Who do you think can be a bigger threat to Mercedes? Do you think McLaren as they've shown in practice, or you think the likes of Red Bull and Ferrari are going to come back?
Regarding this race or the entire season,
No, this race.
this race, I think it's gonna be McLaren.
Mhm.
I think it's gonna be
Okay.
McLaren due to that McLaren seem like they're like slowly learning more of the engine and sorting more and more of the engine, and they keep adding more and more power. And I hope the practice wasn't a fluke like last time. And McLaren are actually genuinely have good pace, but I think McLaren might push Mercedes during sprint quality or this race,
Okay.
this entire race.
Okay. Um, who do you think is going to be the best of the rest? Because the best of the rest, I have to say, in Australia was VCAP. Um, who do you think is going to be the best of the rest in this race, and who, especially which track can suit the teams perfectly? Because I think Haas that could have a very good result this weekend, especially China last season. They were fantastic.
You know what? I'm gonna be broad here. I'm gonna say Alpine.
Oh,
I'll tell you
why?
why. Why? Because again, Alpine have the Mercedes engine, and again, they had the same situation as I think they've had the same situation as McLaren had, where they got the PU and they had no data, so they weren't able to understand the power unit well and optimize the deployment. So and they looked good. Like Gasly was around P10 and so on there and thereabouts. So yeah, I think Alpine might have a chance with Pierre Gasly. Haas might have a chance with Behrman as well. Other than that, I think it's gonna be Alpine. I think it's gonna be Alpine, and they're gonna have might have a good quality and a good race.
All right. Um, okay, so now let's move on to the predictions. Sprint predictions and also race predictions. Sprint prediction, sprint pole prediction. Who do you think is gonna get a sprint pole? And also the top three for the sprint.
It's gonna be Anthony is gonna be P1, Russell's gonna be P2, and P3 is gonna be either Oscar or either Lando. I have no choice, or one of the Ferraris. For the race, it's gonna be this is hard. I'll say Antonelli will keep his pole position. Russell will get second. For the actual race, I'm gonna say it's gonna be Russell P1, then it's gonna be Antonelli for actual race qualifying, and then it's gonna be P3 as I said between the McLarens and the Ferraris. That's about it. That's about it. Uh, and
Yeah.
the
So
same positions. The same positions are gonna finish the race. They're gonna remain the same.
yeah, similar positions except you went for Antonelli winning the sprint and Russell winning the race.
Yes.
Okay, my sprint pole, I'm going for Kimi Antonelli. First position in the sprint, I'm going for Kimi Antonelli as well. Second position in the sprint, I'm going for George Russell. And third position, uh, I'm going for Oscar because you know he's usually he's strong in China and as he did last season. Uh, Actual qualifying, I think pole position will go to George Russell. And then for the actual race, first position I go for George Russell. Second position, I'm actually second position. I'm going for Lando. I don't think Mercedes. I'm actually going for a. I think someone will take away Mercedes 1-2. I think yeah, George first, second, Lando, and third, Kimi Antonelli.
Okay.
Yeah,
Uh,
that's my prediction. You have anything else to say, Mohammed?
no. I don't have anything. No.
Okay. Thank you, Mohammed. Thank you, guys. I wish you enjoyed our podcast and see you next week when we review the China Grand Prix. Bye.
Bye bye.